Welcome back to our channel on this absolutely beautiful day. We are thrilled to have you join us as we dive deep into the latest, most explosive developments shaking up the drama. Lynette's disappearance and Haley's secrets remain mysterious and are beyond the gates in recent weeks. The following content is for informational purposes only. The disappearance of Lynette continues to cast a long, suffocating shadow over everyone connected to her. She may be physically absent, a ghost haunting the opulent corridors of Fairmont Crest, but her presence has never been more palpable. Lynette is not merely a missing person. She is a locked door behind which a multitude of sins have been carefully hidden. The community speaks her name in hushed, anxious tones, wondering if she is a victim of circumstance or the architect of her own vanishing act. Yet, as the days bleed into weeks, the mystery of her whereabouts has transformed into a desperate quest for the truth. A quest that is unearthing secrets far darker than anyone could have ever anticipated. At the center of this emotional maelstrom stands Bill, a man whose heart has been steadily fractured by the agonizing uncertainty of the situation. Driven by a desperate need for clarity and perhaps a subconscious desire to protect the life he has built, Bill recently made a decision that would alter the course of all their lives. He turned to Tomas, handing him a mandate of paramount importance: investigate the convoluted story of Lynette. Bill needed someone objective, someone whose vision was not clouded by the emotional ties and the deceptive facades that define their social circle. He needed a hound capable of tracking a scent that had long gone cold. Tomas accepted this heavy burden with the quiet determination of a man who understands the gravity of truth. He is not merely looking for a missing woman. He is dissecting a life, peeling back the layers of deception that Lynette so expertly constructed. And Tomas's relentless pursuit is finally bearing fruit. He has suddenly come into possession of new, explosive information regarding Lynette, a breakthrough that threatens to shatter the fragile peace of Fairmont Crest. This is not just a minor clue, it is a thread that, when pulled, promises to unravel an entire tapestry of lies. The emergence of this new information is the absolute worst-case scenario for Haley. For months, she has walked a precarious tightrope, playing the role of the devoted partner while desperately concealing a past that is intrinsically linked to the missing woman. Haley has lived in quiet, gnawing terror, praying that no one would ever discover the profound and sinister depth of her connection to Lynette. But the universe has a way of balancing its scales, and the secrets she buried are now clawing their way to the surface. As Tuesday dawns, a palpable sense of panic sets in for Haley. She is forced into a frantic, desperate scramble to cover her tracks. The air around her grows thin as she realizes that the hounds are baying at her door. Is this sudden need to erase her digital and physical footprints a direct reaction to what Tomas has uncovered? Or is she fighting a multi-front war, forced to manage the catastrophic fallout of her past in some other, hidden corner of her life? The sheer exhaustion of maintaining such a colossal deception is beginning to show, cracking the beautiful veneer she has presented to Bill and the world. Tomas, meanwhile, is proving to be a formidable adversary to Haley's carefully constructed illusions. With a brilliant, almost frightening analytical precision, he manages to decode a top-secret clue, a breadcrumb left behind in the chaotic wake of Lynette's disappearance. This encrypted message does not merely point to a location. It leads Tomas directly to a hidden vault, a repository of Lynette's most explosive and closely guarded mysteries. The very concept of this vault sends a chill down the spine. It is a monument to deception, a physical manifestation of the lies that have poisoned their lives. When Tomas finally breaches this vault, what he discovers inside is nothing short of earth-shattering. He does not find mere diaries or personal effects. He uncovers a meticulously documented history of elaborate financial scams and devastating cons. But the true horror lies not in the crimes themselves, but in the perpetrators. The evidence within the vault unequivocally links Lynette to a partner in crime, a phantom grifter known only as Val. And as Tomas sifts through the damning documents, the horrifying truth materializes before his eyes. Val is none other than Haley. The implications of this discovery are staggering. The documents inside the vault threaten to completely obliterate Haley's current identity, exposing her not as the loving, vulnerable woman Bill fell for, but as a seasoned manipulator. A predator who wore a mask of innocence to infiltrate their world. The fallout from this revelation will be catastrophic, a shockwave that will tear through the very fabric of their community. Tomas is now burdened with a terrible power. He holds the key to Haley's destruction and Bill's devastation. The question that now tortures Tomas is how to bring this monstrous truth to the light. How does one detonate a bomb that will inevitably destroy the innocent along with the guilty? As Tomas narrows the scope of his investigation, circling his prey with methodical precision, Haley can feel the invisible noose tightening around her neck. The new clues that are surfacing leave her feeling entirely cornered, trapped in a labyrinth of her own making. The psychological toll of her impending exposure is immense. She is drowning in a suffocating mixture of profound guilt and absolute, paralyzing panic. Every footstep in the hallway, every unexpected ring of the telephone sends tremors of terror through her body. The fear of being unmasked, of seeing the love in Bill's eyes curdle into disgust and hatred, is a torment greater than any physical pain. Pushed to the absolute brink of her sanity, Haley makes a rash, devastating decision. The instinct for self-preservation, honed during her years as the grifter Val, overrides any lingering affection or sense of responsibility she might have felt. She realizes that the masquerade is over, the curtain is falling, and she cannot be on stage when the lights come up. In a frenzy of despair and cowardice, Haley begins to hastily pack her belongings. There is no time for careful planning, no time for goodbyes. There is only the desperate, consuming need to escape the inferno that is about to engulf her life. Under the heavy cloak of night, Haley enacts her final betrayal. She sneaks out of Fairmont Crest, a thief slipping away into the darkness, leaving behind the man who offered her his heart and his home. The sensory details of her flight are heartbreaking in their starkness. The soft click of the door closing, the hurried footsteps on the pavement, the engine turning over in the dead of night. She abandons everything: her wardrobe, her security, the life she stole in a desperate bid for freedom, choosing the cold embrace of the unknown over the burning heat of accountability. When morning finally breaks, it brings with it a silence that is heavy and wrong. Bill awakens to an empty space, a chilling void where the woman he loved should have been. As he wanders through their shared spaces, finding half-empty drawers and the lingering, ghostly scent of her perfume, the realization of her disappearance strikes him with the force of a physical blow. He is entirely stunned, paralyzed by a bewilderment that quickly morphs into a profound, suffocating devastation. The woman he trusted implicitly, the woman he believed was his sanctuary, has vanished like a mirage. Haley's sudden and cowardly flight leaves behind a colossal, agonizing mess, a chaotic crime scene of broken trust that Tomas must now navigate. If there was any lingering doubt in Tomas's mind about the veracity of the documents in the vault, Haley's midnight escape obliterates it entirely. Her absence is the loudest confession she could have possibly made. This desperate act of self-preservation fundamentally shifts the dynamic of the investigation. It acts as a catalyst, instantly transforming Bill's heartbreaking confusion into a dark, hardening suspicion. Together, standing in the ruins of the life Bill thought he knew, both he and Tomas come to a chilling, undeniable realization. Haley's frantic departure is not an isolated event. It is the missing puzzle piece. Her flight confirms that she is deeply, inextricably connected to the mystery of Lynette's disappearance. The two women are bound by a dark history of deception, and Haley's run for the border proves that she knows exactly what happened to Lynette, or worse, that she is responsible for it. The narrative now hurtles toward an inevitable, explosive confrontation. How will Bill, a man whose entire emotional foundation has been violently ripped away, process this bitter, toxic truth? He has spent months defending Haley, loving her, trusting her with the most vulnerable parts of his soul. To discover that her very identity was a weapon forged to deceive him is a psychological trauma of unimaginable proportions. The man who hired Tomas to find the truth must now survive the reality of what that truth entails. We must brace ourselves for the moment their paths finally cross again, for the confrontation between Bill and Haley will be nothing short of seismic. Imagine the sheer dramatic intensity of that inevitable face-off, when the layers of lies are entirely stripped away, leaving only the raw, ugly truth. Will Bill demand answers with the fury of a man betrayed, or will he be reduced to the quiet, devastating sorrow of a broken heart? And what of Haley when she is finally cornered, stripped of her aliases and her escape routes? What will she say in her absolute despair? Will she attempt to spin one final, desperate web of lies, or will the crushing weight of her guilt finally force a genuine confession? Is it possible that beneath the cold, calculating exterior of the grifter Val, there existed a woman who genuinely fell in love with her Mark? Will she beg for a forgiveness she knows she does not deserve, desperately trying to salvage a single fragment of the life she destroyed? Ultimately, we are left to ponder the ashes of this relationship. Can a bond built on such a colossal foundation of deceit ever be repaired? The betrayal here is not a simple mistake. It is a systemic, calculated manipulation of reality. As the truth of the vault becomes public knowledge, and the community reels from the shock of the monster hiding in plain sight, Bill will have to decide if the love he felt was real enough to transcend the lie that created it. The storm has finally broken over Fairmont Crest, and the floodwaters of truth are washing away everything in their path.